Hello, thank you for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguilera. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has urged the media to work with security agencies in combating fake news, hate speech and divisive narratives. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the minister stated this in a message at a workshop for information and public relations officers organized by the National Counter-Terrorism Center.
Era of information-driven society, effective communication is a strategic tool for managing public perception, countering negative narratives, and upholding peace and national development. This necessitated this training for these information managers from the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Federal Information Chapel.
Without security, freedom of expression cannot thrive. This is why we are committed to strengthening the partnership between the ministry, our information chapel members, and the security agencies like the NCTC.
Our goal is clear: to equip government information and public relations managers with innovative tools, tested approaches, and a deeper understanding of the evolving communication landscape so that they can respond with credibility in countering terrorist and violent extremist ideologies and narratives.
The Director General NTA Abdul Hamid Salihu Dembos represented reaffirmed the station's commitment to promoting good governance and national development.
Our unwavering commitment to the restoration of peace in Nigeria is ironcast. So far, our platform has remained that of projecting the truth and avoidance of over-sensationalism of security threats and issues, while engaging in the propagation of ideals of peaceful coexistence towards maintaining national cohesion.
The theme for the event is empowering the messenger, innovative approaches to public information in the face of security challenges. The workshop is aimed at ensuring that participants are vigilant stewards of peace and national security. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control on retaining the World Health Organization's maturity level ML3, that is the status for the regulation of medicines and vaccines. The president, in a statement by his special advisor, Bayo Onanuga, notes the commendable results of the re-benchmarking exercise conducted by the WHO, assessing NAFDAC's operation against globally recognized standards for regulatory performance. The president commends NAFDAC's management and staff for their professionalism, consistency and dedication to safeguarding public health, noting that these achievements strengthens Nigeria's standing as a reliable partner in global health, security and pandemic preparedness. We'll flip to other issues. Nigerian Air Force under Operation Fasanyama has recorded another major victory against armed bandits in Zamfara State, neutralizing several terrorists in a coordinated air and ground assault on Makarkari Forest. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodami, indicates that intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance had confirmed movements of over 400 bandits planning to invade the farming community. The operation involved precision airstrikes and ground assaults, resulting in the deaths of several notorious kingpins and scores of their foot soldiers. The synergy between air and land components made the operation exceptional. Reports reaching us says motorists and other commuters plying the Yelwata axis of Benue State have been experiencing difficulties in accessing the road due to blockade by angry villagers. The report indicates that villagers protesting the killing of their kingsmen this morning by yet to be identified persons have blocked the road with the remains of their relatives. The report also says military helicopters are hovering the air with the presence of soldiers and police personnel in the area. Meanwhile, the protesters are insisting that the security men must vacate the place before they will open the road, alleging that the security agencies were not handy to intervene early enough They were also requesting the state governor to address them regarding the situation. All right, we'll bring you more details in that aspect in the course of the bulletin, but let's look at agric talk now. If smallholder farmers are the bedrock of Nigeria's agricultural sector can no longer afford fertilizer, food security then hangs in the balance. To prevent such a situation, the federal government redefines the future of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative to ensure quality control, affordability and accessibility of fertilizers. Ineka Oko will tell us more.
The rising cost of fertilizers is not just a challenge for farmers. It is a national issue that affects food prices and economic stability. This is why key stakeholders in the fertilizer ecosystem are in dialogue to confront the present challenge. With the Minister of Finance Incorporated, Murphy, leading the charge in collaboration with the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, the mission is to review progress of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, identify challenges in the industry, and propose solutions to address them.
Our position is, one, ensuring that we take all steps to bring down the price of fertilizer through economies of scale, through domesticating the production of the inputs, and steps are already being taken to ensure that we achieve that. But the other aspect of it is to also ensure that we do not allow adulterated materials, fertilizer materials, to come into the ecosystem.
Of course, there continues to be challenges, but what I'm proud to say is when I reflect from 2016 to today, those challenges have substantially been confronted together as an industry.
Since inception in 2016, the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative is said to have revived over 80 blending plants and delivered more than 90 million bags of affordable fertilizer. For farmers, the expectation is that the solutions proposed at this roundtable will not only yield tangible results, but meet timely implementation for the next planting season. In Abuja, Ineka Oko, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has assured the empowerment of 290,000 indigenes of Jigawa State in what is set to be one of the largest grassroots intervention programs in the nation's history. The president's message was delivered by Governor Umar Namadi during a government citizens engagement forum held in the state. Mohammed Musa Skira reports.
Under the initiative, 1,000 beneficiaries will be selected from each of Jigawa's 280 political wards, bringing the total to 290,000 empowered citizens. The governor, who was welcomed by cheering crowds, received commendations for his administration's developmental strides over the past 2 years. His achievements stakeholders described as monumental in economic growth, human capital development and infrastructural expansion. The announcement of the empowerment program was greeted with widespread praises across the state, with citizens pledging continued support for both the president and the governor ahead of the 2027 elections.
I was able to use this opportunity to tell the people of bringing local government that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is planning a program that will empower 1,000 youths in each and every ward in Nigeria, and the Jigawa State inclusive. This is a massive program that will help in alleviating poverty, that will help in improving the livelihood of people, and that will bring prosperity to the people of Nigeria. So these are the kind of forum we are using to advocate government policies and to advocate what the government has done to the people.
The governor has also rolled out Commissioner for Humanitarian and Special Duties Empowerment Scheme, where 250 beneficiaries drawn from 10 political wards in Ringim will receive 200,000 naira each to boost their businesses. The proposed intervention is expected to further stimulate the local economy and strengthen livelihoods across Jigawa State. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Use your newly acquired skills to create jobs, uplift your community, and make a lasting impact. This was the charge from Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to over 5,000 graduates at the graduation and empowerment ceremony held for beneficiaries of the state's skills acquisition program. John Ken Apabuya reports.
After weeks of intensive training across various trades, these more than 5,000 graduates of the Lagos State Skills Acquisition Program are now fully equipped to take on the world of entrepreneurship.
Since the inception of this administration, we have proudly produced over 34,000 graduates from our skills acquisition centers.
From vulcanizing to welding, catering to hairdressing, and photography to makeup artistry, these beneficiaries represent a new wave of job creators ready to drive grassroots economic growth.
Initially, my children just said I should go there to go and, just keep myself busy or something. But when I got there, I met a lot of opportunities there.
I'm so very happy for today.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who presented the empowerment tools, said the training centers have become lifelines, offering real opportunities for economic independence and self-reliance.
Now you are going out to ensure that for you to compete and compete well, you must be able to design or you're able to bake something that you can sell. And so your pricing must make sense. It will not be that your first thing that you sell, you want to make all the profit from it.
Wife of the governor, Dr. Abuja Sanwo-Olu, described the graduates as symbols of determination, urging them to embrace continuous learning and uphold integrity in their enterprises.
As you take this bold step forward, remember that learning never stops. Continue to sharpen your skills, embrace new ideas, remain open to opportunities.
With this milestone, the Lagos State government reaffirms its commitment to equipping citizens with practical skills that promote self-reliance and sustainable livelihoods. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapuya, NTA News.
Earlier, we told you of reports reaching us of motorists and commuters plying the Yelwata axis of Benue State, experiencing difficulties in accessing the road due to blockade by angry villagers. Now, those are the clips you're seeing on the screen because reports indicating that villagers are protesting the killing of their kingsmen this morning by yet to be identified persons. They've blocked the road with the remains of their relatives. And the report also says that military helicopters are hovering the area with the presence of soldiers and police personnel in the area. Meanwhile, protesters are insisting that the security men must vacate the place before they will open the road, alleging that the security agencies were not handy to intervene early enough. They were also requesting that the state governor address them regarding the situation. We'll bring you more details as they unfold. The Katsina State government is organizing a mindset restructuring workshop focusing on women entrepreneurs to provide a paradigm shift in entrepreneurship thinking. The initiative is designed to empower women with the necessary skills and thinking patterns to drive business innovation and sustainability. Awal Haliru reports.
For a successful business to flourish, one necessary ingredient is needed. It is not capital or environment, but mindset. Hundreds of women entrepreneurs are here learning first-hand information on business skills. The Mindset Restructuring Workshop, organized by the Katsina State Enterprise Development Agency, is providing women entrepreneurs an avenue to acquire new skills, share experiences, and learn from experts in the field.
This program is prepared and designed not just to shape your businesses, but to lead them to make a difference. It is also not only designed to make you conversant with the changing world, but to conquer it.
Engaging in entrepreneurship, we're able to create opportunities that seem not to exist by turning problems into solutions and building sustainable businesses that will create jobs.
This initiative is part of a series of programs geared towards supporting women's economic empowerment and promoting entrepreneurship in the state to provide economic solutions. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
All right, let's head to Benin now to join Udwak Obong for our next set of reports. Hello, Udwak.
Welcome to Benin. Edo State government has threatened to sanction and prosecute henceforth professional bodies, physical developers and individuals alike who refuse to get necessary approval before embarking on developing buildings in the state. This was at a press briefing at Government House against the backdrop of a recent building collapse in Uromi, a Sang North-East local government area, which claimed the life of its owner, who was said to have disregarded earlier notice of stop work order on the collapsed building. Goodluck Enani reports.
Experts in the built environment say erecting a building structure involves several considerations, including careful planning, design, and execution to ensure safety, functionality, and it can stand the test of time. It also consists of proper consultation, submission of building plans for approval, and quality control to prevent errors. Investigation carried out by the state government to ascertain the cause of the building collapse revealed that none of the aforementioned rules was observed before construction commenced at Idumoza in Uromi, leading to the death of its owner.
We issued a stop work order for the developer to come on board. After a series of visits, he did not come, and precisely on the 18th of June 2025, when this building was sealed, we can't police even at night. Some people go ahead and even build at night when we are not there.
The state government seeks the cooperation of relevant stakeholders, particularly architects, engineers, contractors, in ensuring people adhere to guidelines stipulated by the state government for better building development control.
Ensure that you get your building plan approved. For hotels and commercial buildings of this level, we will be issuing a demand notice for every one of them that does not have approval. We want to know the status. And for structures which we look at or which we see that are having issues that are triggered, we will request for integrity tests.
This, for the state government, is to serve as a reminder the need to strictly adhere to building codes and regulations in ensuring safety and preventing loss of lives and property. In Benin, Goodluck Enani, NT News.
Edo State Police Command says it has put in place necessary arrangements to enforcing the state government's ban on illegal revenue collection. It will be collaborating with relevant agencies to ensure strict compliance and restore public order across the state. This was the outcome of a meeting between the Commissioner of Police, Monday Agbonika, and a delegation from the Edo State government at the command's headquarters, Benin City.
The strategic closed-door meeting at the instance of the State Commissioner of Police, Monday Agbonika, with the Secretary to Edo State Government, Musa Ihilo, and a delegation from the Edo State Government. It is to hand over 10 suspects arrested for violating the ban against illegal revenue collection in part of Benin City. Public Relations Officer of the Command, SP Moses Yamo, who represented the Commissioner of Police and the Chairman Edo Internal Revenue Service, Otumba Oladele Bankole Balogun, addressed journalists after the meeting.
Myself and the Secretary to the Edo State government came to the police headquarters to basically thank the State Police Command for the hard work and also to enlist their continual support to sort of stop and end this scourge of very serious antisocial behavior, which His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, has decided to stamp out once and for all through this ban on illegal revenue collection, which has really become an absolute menace.
The command will continue to ensure that we enforce all laws that is binding on citizens of the state.
The suspects arrested by the Edo State Special Task Force illegally collecting levies from traders and commercial drivers have since been handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution. In Benin, Goodluck Enani, NT News.
And that's it from Benin. It's back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Odwak. Thousands of commuters are still taking advantage of the Abuja Metro train services, which is free. Correspondent Kama Kama brings us the latest on this transportation initiative that has been making waves in the nation's capital.
The light rail project designed to reduce traffic congestion and enhance accessibility has been a game changer for the city's residents.
It's been a very, very, very good thing because before I used to drive to the airport, it used to cost me a lot. But now I park my car here and go to work in the airport and come back. So it's very, very convenient and easy for me.
It's a very nice one. You can see me with my kids just for fun ride. We followed it from airport to this place. It was fun.
They add more trains. Like right now, it's only one we're using, so it's really full. And that's why you see we're having crowds like this all in one single train, so it can be very uncomfortable. But
took the train from Idri railway station, and then it had like I think 3 to 4 stops before it got here. And then one thing I love about the train is that it keeps to time.
Oh my God, it has been of help for the massive, most especially low-income earners. For me to get from my area to my office there, I spend nothing less than 3,500 every day. But right now, I spend 400 naira to my office here.
Kama, 88 News.
If you're in the Federal Capital Territory, you've not taken advantage of that, I think you should. And talking about transportation, residents of Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, grapple with high cost of transportation. They're calling for robust implementation of the compressed natural gas program of the federal government to cushion its effect. Shola Wahid in this report takes a look at the impact of CNG, its availability and the cost of transportation in the state.
The rationale behind the establishment of compressed natural gas, CNG, was to provide some reliefs to Nigerians who have been severely affected by the removal of fuel subsidy. However, despite the introduction of CNG as an alternative energy source to ease the burden, Nigerians still pay exorbitantly for both intra and interstate transportation.
The introduction is actually a very, very good initiative if well implemented, but currently it's not affecting the transport system.
Initially, I used to enter bus to Lagos within the range of 6,000, 7,000, but now you can't enter from Ilorin here to Lagos less than 10,000 naira.
Transporters believe Nigerians will continue to feel little or no impact of the CNG initiative as long as the cost of automobile spare parts remain high.
The initiative is good, but the end result is not good. In the whole of Kwara State, there's only one station that is discharging CNG gas.
If you can see this gas, it will enable us to reduce the cost of transportation in our domain.
A visit to the CNG filling station at Post Office area in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, revealed a queue of commercial vehicles waiting to refill, further highlighting the gap between supply and demand of the gas. Conversion of more vehicles and establishment of additional CNG filling stations across the state is expected to induce reduction in transport fares. In Ilorin, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority appeals to passengers to remain calm and cooperative during flights and to respect the instructions of cabin crew members and all other aviation rules for the safety and well-being of all passengers. This action follows the emergence of a video online showing a heated confrontation between a passenger and a cabin crew member on an Ibom air flight from Uyo to Lagos, which was yesterday. The authority's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimugu, advises passengers to familiarize themselves with aviation safety protocols and regulations to avoid similar incidents in the future. Further updates will be provided as more information becomes available. The Universal Basic Education Commission and the Korea International Cooperation Agency have officially concluded first phase of the Smart Education Project, marking a major milestone in Nigeria's drive towards technology-driven learning in basic education.
Strategic Partnership, 21 established smart schools are now operational, serving as hubs for innovative education. For Awonte Salau, a student of the FCT Smart School in Kashi, learning has taken on a new dimension with the adoption of computer learning tablets to make complex subjects easier to understand. This transformation is a collaboration between the federal government and the Republic of Korea.
Basic education in Nigeria is the responsibility of the three tiers of government: local government, states, and federal government. But if you are not involved with your child's life, even his interface with that very best becomes limited.
In collaboration with KOICA and other partners, we achieved significant milestones. We developed Nigeria's first smart education plan, trained over 800 teachers.
So all kind of experience, I just experiences, okay, through all my life. I'm ready to pour into Nigeria. Thanks to my contribution to, Nigeria.
Smart School project really helped me, especially in terms of learning more in ICT gadgets.
Now reaching the end of its first phase, the project marks the successful conclusion of an ambitious 5-year effort to embed digital learning into Nigeria's public education system.
Our next stop will be just where Mary is standing by to guide us. Hello, Mary.
Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has kick-started the state's 2025 Green Drive with more than 1 million tree planting initiative to enhancing environmental sustainability. The tree planting project launched in Das local government area is to complement the federal government's effort to combating desertification and land degradation. Awal Abdullahi has the reports.
With the theme, Plant a Tree for a Better Tomorrow, the campaign is aimed at promoting environmental sustainability and restoration of degradation for the future generation.
Our forests are under siege. Uncontrolled deforestation, illegal logging, bush burning and overgrazing have left large swaths of land barren, increasing the risk of flooding, erosion, and desert encroachment.
Governor Bala Mohammed stressed the importance of collective effort in protecting the environment in line with both federal and state targets to achieving the green revolution.
We are today losing biodiversity, soil fertility, and water catchments at an alarming rate. In response, tree planting must become a mass movement, a people's revolution to reclaim their land, restore their dignity and integrity, and create a new hope within our environment.
The local government council chairman, traditional leaders and other stakeholders are advised by the governor to take ownership of the over 1 million trees that will be planted across Bauchi State. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
Wife of Plateau State Governor Helen Mutfwang is calling for adequate awareness on exclusive breastfeeding in view of its enormous benefit to mothers and children. This is while addressing stakeholders during World Breastfeeding Week in Jos. Ijoma Ozemena reports.
Some benefits of breastfeeding include optimal nutrition, boosting immunity, promoting bonding between mother and child, as well as supports brain development of the child. It is also beneficial to mothers because it reduces the risk of cancers and promotes postpartum weight loss.
The breastfeed is good because if you are breastfeeding the baby will be growing. I say thank you so much. May the Lord Jesus continue to bless the government.
The theme for this year's World Breastfeeding Week is prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support system. This theme emphasizes the need to establish long-lasting and equitable support system to empower breastfeeding mothers.
Wife of the governor applauds government for its commitment in promoting breastfeeding through healthcare facilities and policies.
Government has also approved 6 months paid maternity leave for mothers and 2 weeks paternity leave for the husbands as well as establish government-owned crèche to support lactating working mothers to continue to breastfeed when they resume from maternity leave.
Breastfeeding is more than a feeding choice. It is a life-saving intervention. It is the first vaccine, the first bomb, and the first act of love between mother and child.
In Jos, Ijoma Ozemina, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Jos. Nationwide will continue in our Abuja studio, but after this break. Good evening.
Thank you for staying with us. Preparations towards the forthcoming local government election in Rivers State seems to be gaining momentum, with the process producing standard bearers among few political parties. With divergent views, residents spoke on their level of preparedness while calling for peaceful electoral process to usher in a democratic governance at the grassroots. Robinson Derataide reports.
Announcement by the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission sets the tone for the conduct of a fresh election this August 30 after the nullification of the previous election by the Supreme Court. The announcement is not without mixed feelings among political gladiators and social watchers who pick holes in the process, especially with regards to the time frame for the election. Another issue raised is the question of the legitimacy of a sole administrator conducting a democratic election. While that may be a subject of legal interpretations, political parties, especially the PDP and APC in the state, have already adopted joint consensus candidates across all the local government areas.
As a person, I'm set. This will not be a different one. We have been doing elections.
We advise them to start warming up because this time around, we want a good leader. We are going to vote.
I'm not sure I'm prepared for it. Why are you not prepared? Because it's not in compliance with our constitution. Stipulated timeline for an election to occur within our constitution and within the provision of RISEC, as it has been there for long, so it's not being complied. So I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
Although the usual hustling and bustling around party secretariats when it's close to election is not yet seen, residents act on the imperative of a peaceful process to achieve grassroots governance.
2 other parties that say they are prepared for the conduct of the election outside the APC and PDP arrangement. So I think there will be contest.
A few weeks from now, Rivers residents will not only know their grassroots leaders, but will have the right to tax them on democratic dividends. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Derataide, NTA News.
All right, let's get more insight into what is going to happen in the state. And Robinson is set to join us. Hello, Robinson. I'm sure you can hear me. Going by the mood, as they gear up, talking about residents there in Port Harcourt, gear up for the local government election, which comes up at the end of this month. Tell us, what did you gather?
Yes, Port Harcourt and the entire Rivers people are prepared for the election on the 30th of this month. Like we said on the report, there are divergent views concerning the election. We as a media organization, we go out time to time to interact with the people and also feel their pulse on their level of preparations for the elections. While some hold the view that the election does not pass through the normal procedure, others believe that it is their civic rights that come 30th of this month, they will go to the poll to elect their grassroots leaders. INEC on its own too has been holding a strategic meeting with stakeholders. The timetable for the election is out. 30th is the election proper, and the 6th and 12th of September is to address issues, the fallout of the election. So basically, the people are prepared for the election. Concerning the political parties, that is where a little concerned, people are a bit concerned, because up till this moment, there are no visible campaigns from the political parties. Apart from the APC that has announced or brought out candidates, flag bearers, other parties seems not to really show much interest in the process for now. But between now till the time of the election, maybe they will still come up. But for now, there are no campaigns in the states.
See, there were also fears by some residents on constitutional breach, do you have clarification on that aspect?
Well, the legal is basically a legal issue, whether the RESEC actually passed through the normal procedure to conduct the election. But the basic concern is that the time frame, which is just 1 month, is too short. It's left for the legal interpretation of that. But basically, the people are prepared. And if the political parties are prepared, I'm sure that the election will hold and it will be peaceful.
All right. Thank you very much, Robinson Derataide, for that insight. Thank you. All right, let's turn to other issues. Residents in Northern Senatorial District of Cross River State are crying over the devastating impact of flood, which has ravaged their farmlands and destroyed their livelihoods. Rosemary Oko visited some of these communities in Abuja to get first-hand information on the situation. Let's see that.
Torrential rains over the past few days and weeks have led to total destruction of properties and farmlands within several local government areas of Cross River State, leaving the people in sordid state as their means of livelihood were damaged. Some residential buildings were destroyed as they are groaning under the weight of colossal losses and total devastation inflicted by the relentless rains and flooding.
On Saturday, this flood set in. So when they told me, I was like maybe collapsing. I have like 6 hectares that I cultivated, all gone in the twinkle of an eye.
So this flood came into the farms and submerged the whole of the farmland that you see here. Everything you see here was rice. The rice was ready for harvest that would have been harvested with a minimum of 84 tons of rice per hectare. Here, all damaged to flood.
Residents are urgently appealing to the government for support to rebuild and provide assistance to help them regain their footing, enable them to return to their farms and prepare for the new planting season. In Abuja, Rosemary Oko, NTA News.
United Nations International Day of World's Indigenous Peoples was marked in Abuja by the Original Inhabitants Group under the platform of the Auspicious Resources Center of Human Rights and Civic Education, with a call on the federal government to attend to the immediate needs for political inclusion, land restitution, and economic empowerment. Deborah Balagbogo reports.
Indigenous people of the FCT, made up of 9 tribes and 17 chiefdoms, celebrating a heritage of an ancestry of wisdom and cultural vibrancy, a story woven into the very soul beneath their feet.
Indigenous people of FCT. I will continue.
The gathering, they say, is a move for visibility, to showcase the resilience of a people that shaped the land before it became the seat of power.
This gathering is not merely a celebration, it is a declaration. A declaration that the indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory are not invisible, that their voices will no longer be silenced, that their heritage is not only sacred, but central to the soul of Abuja.
I hope that these 3 agenda items will represent your views, your perspectives as we march toward 2027.
We have to go into lobby. Appropriate people will meet them, will tell them our predicament and how we want us to be recognized as a true Nigerians.
If Mark Otto, Christed, and other cohort members can add to this voice in honor of the FCT indigenous people, I think the whole world and even the Nigeria will listen to us.
The group hopes that the day will foster inclusion, dialogue, and respect for the rights of the indigenous people of the FCT. In Abuja, Deborah Balagugu, NT News.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. The federal government is to incorporate aquaculture into the irrigation scheme of the Hadija Jama'ari River Basin Development Authority as part of efforts to diversify dam utilization and boost local fish production. Yohannes Hassan Barao reports.
Nigeria currently spends about 1.2 billion annually on fish imports to meet local demand, a growing concern for the federal government. To reverse this trend, the Hadija Jama'ari River Basin Development Authority is set to integrate aquaculture into its irrigation schemes, aiming to boost local fish production and reduce import dependency.
We have to help the government of Swaju Bolami Tinubu to see how we can now not only provide food, but also livestock. We have our dams, so we can use it for fishing.
Behind me is Tiga Dam, one of the largest dams in Nigeria, a cornerstone of irrigation agriculture across Kano and beyond. For decades, it has sustained farming communities under the Kano River Irrigation Project, turning dry lands into productive fields.
This year, we are going to develop more irrigable lands. We are going to desilt our irrigation canals, and where possible, we are going to create new water reservoirs for irrigation. I'm happy to say that people around this area are farming about 2 or 3 times in a year.
The authority is also expanding farmlands across Kano, Jigawa and Bauchi states and clearing invasive topographies to improve irrigation flow and increase productivity for thousands of farmers. In Kano, Yohannes Hassan Barao, NTA News.
And still in Kano, the state government has announced plans to reactivate inactive centers and establish new comprehensive centers for the management of acute malnutrition across all 44 local government areas of the state. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf made the announcement during the launch of several health intervention programs in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
Stakeholders in health and nutrition have gathered in Durbunde community, Taka local government area, to witness key interventions aimed at reducing child mortality and improving overall child health. Distribution of ready-to-use therapeutic food to various primary health care facilities across Kano State, as well as foundation laying for the reactivation of 187 primary health care centers previously abandoned. These centers were originally established for the comprehensive management of acute malnutrition.
We have provided equipment, consumables, other commodities, and even staff training for CMAM establishment and reactivations.
Representatives of various stakeholder agencies commended the Kano State government's renewed commitment to health services and programs.
Kano State was the first state in Nigeria with the highest singular contribution to the Child Nutrition Fund, with the release of 500 million naira, which will date, this is the highest single funding by states in Nigeria.
They expressed optimism that these interventions will significantly help in addressing malnutrition and other life-threatening childhood diseases. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Minister of Works David Umahi has extolled the outstanding achievements of Nigeria's national women's basketball team, the Tigress. This was when the center player of the team, Blessing Ejiofor, visited his office in Abuja. While applauding the team's dedication to basketball and impressive representation of Nigeria on the international stage, the minister describes Blessing Ejiofor as an outstanding ambassador of Ebonyi State and Nigeria in general. Minister of State Works Mohammed Gurunyo also expresses admiration for her discipline and resilience, describing her as a shining example of how sports can contribute to national development. Blessing Ejiofor, who was accompanied to the minister's office by the chairman, National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, presented Umahi with a customized basketball jersey and praises his exemplary leadership and commitment to national service. All right, and that's Nationwide. Thank you for being part of it. I'm Ruth Aguwele. Good evening.